Yes, sir. Back again with another episode of the We Here Now podcast. I am your host, MarioTheCameraMan, aka Mario, aka Social Bigs, whatever you want to call me. As long as you call me, as long as you know me, you tap in, hit that like, subscribe, and that comment button before we even get started. Because now I'm getting more information back on the analytics and stuff like that. I can't see exactly who was watching it, but like it kind of breaks down like subscribers and non-subscribers. You will not believe that most of the people that is watching this podcast right now is 60% of people who aren't even subscribed to the channel. And I get it. Back in the day, I used to watch YouTube. They used to be like, hit that. Man, I'm not about to do all the extra. But think about it. If you're going to watch the podcast anyway, before you even have to think about it, if you subscribe to the comment, it'll just be there for you. You don't have to do no extra work. My video would just pop up. It's just simple as that. And I know a lot of people, they probably use like a guest account or something, so they don't even have like a real YouTube account. Shit, you can still like and subscribe on that account. Just you gotta go back to that account to make sure you get my my videos and stuff like that. But shout out to y'all back in another week. Like I said, just keep it rolling. It's cool now that I'm at the point where I can actually see like the analytics and stuff like that. Cause I'm not too crazy when it comes to like the analytics and stuff like that. Because in my early podcast, I had said like I really didn't. It wasn't really so much about like getting a lot of views. You know what I mean? It's just like I just hope the people who actually are listening to the podcast, actually are enjoying it, But like I was saying, now that I've been doing this, so this is the 11th episode, so yeah, like 2 months now I've been doing this, I got a little bit more information that comes back who actually watches the video, so that's how I was able to see stuff like that, but that only comes with being consistent. Like, I probably wish I could have had that like earlier when I first started doing it, but it's like, you got to stay consistent to get like numbers like that, So it was definitely cool to see how that stuff is shaping up. But yeah, make sure you like and comment and subscribe to your boy. We back again with another week of the We Here Now podcast, dropping more knowledge, staying more consistent. All that stuff I said we was gonna do. We just gonna continue doing it. Shout out to y'all. I'm up recording again in the morning. Last week I did it in the morning because the Browns game. And I'm back doing it in the morning again. There's something about just doing a podcast in the morning, getting up, setting yourself up, just getting ready for the conversation I'm going to have with, you lovely people. And then having my cup of coffee in the morning. It's nothing like I don't really like to drink coffee. I'm not the type of person I'm really not drinking coffee like in the afternoon or like really at nighttime. It's just something about like, I don't know, coffee in the morning is just like top tier, It's a little chilly outside, got that morning breeze brisk, going. It's perfect for some coffee. But today, my coffee is a little bit darker than I normally like it. We don't have any cream. I mean, we do have cream, but it's some non-sugar, some zero sugar. I already put sugar in my coffee anyway, so I mean, I guess like this like zero sugar with like added sugar now, but yeah, usually I like my coffee like a Shakira skin complexion, But say I'm sipping on a Morris chestnut. Whoa, hey, yo, you know what I mean though. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. They say you're not a real coffee drinker if you can't drink black coffee, and I'm not no real coffee drinker. I know like a couple little things, but it's all about the taste. Like you have a good steak, you want some wine to go with that just to complement it. That's what I feel like coffee does to a morning. A good hot cup of coffee is complementary to having a successful morning. What do you think all the greats do? The legends, the billionaires, all the successful people you think about, they probably have them a cup of Joe in the morning. That's all I'm gonna say. Fantastic, my dad. But let's get right into this week. My week/weekend recap. Man. Not a lot of shit, honestly. I had work again this week, but before we get to that, yeah, I really didn't do shit this weekend for real, you know what I mean? Worked out a little bit on my off days, but other than that, I really didn't do shit. Like I said, I'm a homebody anyways. I just like to chill at the crib and stuff like that. So me being at the crib, I definitely started watching the Bernie Mac show again. I'm good for rewatching TV show I've already seen because I know a lot of people like you go on Netflix, you watch like a bunch. Oh, they dropped this TV show. They dropped this TV show. It's so hard for me to invest into a TV show because let's just think. One season of a TV show, let's say 10 episodes, 40 minutes. you gotta invest almost a full day's work on just a TV show, and you don't even know if you're gonna like it or not. You know what I mean? So at least with a show I've already seen before, I already know I'm gonna get. I kind of know how it's gonna end, the setup and stuff like that. But it's still to go through those emotions, or yeah, those emotions still. And Bernie Mac, he was one of my. I wouldn't even say like my favorite comedian. I think like my favorite just actor, like growing up or stuff like that. So it's been good to watch. Bernie Mac. The Bernie Mac show just kind of reminisce on how impactful Bernie Mac actually was on my life. But yeah, just a whole bunch of rewatching TV shows. Watching shit on YouTube as well. Yeah, but I mean that's really about it. I remember I had told you guys about the dog a couple weeks ago. We still haven't heard back from them. They haven't called it back or anything. So I'm just saying, hopefully somebody had picked the dog up. But I mean, it's very unlikely somebody did. So yeah, not the best news to hear. But I mean, you can't save them all. And I mean that's just what it is sometimes. Hopefully, he is okay if he is still here. But shit. This weekend, I'm gonna touch on that in just a little bit about more like the sports world. But as far as like my weekend goes, I work, so not really a lot of shit going on for me in that aspect. I didn't have a flag football game. I mean, we've been getting our ass kicked, so I mean, it probably wasn't the worst thing to take a little break of how shit has been going. But we're back at it next week. So next week, my weekend recap will be a little bit more juicy, or maybe not. Like I said, I'm a fucking pretty normal dude, so don't expect anything too crazy. But I did have work again this weekend, and a couple things that crossed my mind. It's just something I noticed, because even like where I live at, like I live by an industrial parkway. So is this something? Why is it that I always see geese in the industrial parkway? Now I want somebody to really give me an answer why I see these geese. Because the first thing I thought about is like, okay, industrial parkway is probably is away from like houses and residential, so it's probably a little bit quieter. But if you think about industrial parkway, it's going to be a lot of semis and stuff like that coming through there. So how is that going to be more quiet? I don't know. Just something for you guys to think about while you're out there. Is there a reason that every time you are at an industrial parkway, you're gonna see a flock of geese? Just do your research. And I know you got a lab set right there. Why don't you just look it up? I think it's like it's probably like some conspiratorial stuff. You know what I mean? So you can't just easily just Google that. So you gotta like deep dive. And I don't feel like doing like no 10 hours of research just to find out if it's some deep reason why geese are always at industrial parkway. Just a little take home homework for y'all, while you listen to the podcast, give yourself something to think about. But I did notice that when I was going to work, because I don't work in the industrial parkway, but like kind of like I gotta go through an industrial parkway. But that's just something I've been noticing. Every time I go to work, it's just always like hella geese around. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like with all these semis around, you would think like they'll be like far away from industrial parkway, but. Damn. But I don't know. That's just what it is. But that had me thinking again about work just in general. I'm seeing the geese into the parkway. I want to know how y'all feel about dating in the workspace. Don't give me that look. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. Because me personally, I've never been the one to date in the workplace. Like for me, it's always like on some like cool shit. Like, I might know somebody, we chopping up, like when we see at work, it's like, that's all, it's just like strictly work conversation, you know what I mean? Yeah, I just put in my 2 weeks. What? See, I feel more comfortable messing with a girl if we were working together, but like she don't work anymore. Because at the end of the day, when I go to my job, I don't want anything from like my personal life to affect like what I actually got going on at work. Can you imagine like me just, or not even me, just you in general, like you dating a girl, right? And y'all get into an argument at the house, and now y'all about to go to work, and y'all gonna have to see each other. It's gonna be mad tension, So I just always try to avoid that, because I feel like work, depending on what you do, it can be stressful enough, So like just to add the extra layer of dating your coworkers. I just want to know how y'all feel about it. You know what I mean? Because I definitely got a coworker at my job, and she cool. But like I said, I've always been real big on not hooking up with my coworkers. Um, Not to say that like, wow. Ooh, damn, that caught good. But yeah, I don't know. It's always just a tricky situation, a very fine line because it's like you really like to get into like a little situation with your female at the work spot that can result in you, I don't know, maybe getting sent home or like whatever the case may be. I don't know. I just always feel like that's like an odd look, you know what I mean? But I mean, depending on what job you do and how much time you really spend there, it might make a little bit more sense, you know. But I just want to know like y'all thoughts on that. Like I think I your job, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a job when they were telling me like, oh, like don't date like your coworker. You know what I mean? Because I definitely had jobs where um there's a guy was a manager, maybe his wife was a coworker, or they used to date back in the day, and it's always something like that. But like, I've never had it as like, oh, like you really can't date your coworker. It's not like morally or like ethically like wrong, but I mean, for me, I think it's obvious reason why you shouldn't date your coworker. But I want to hear back some response from you guys. How do you guys feel about dating in the workplace? Um, yeah, but like I said, that's just um, I'm gonna start giving y'all some stuff that y'all can talk about on your own, so I feel like we actually having a conversation. Because sometimes y'all want to comment, and sometimes y'all don't want to comment. I just look. This is the open platform, open forum for us to have a conversation together. So even though I can't hear you respond right now, even though I know you probably respond to whatever as you're going through your head, because that's what I do when I listen to podcasts. But I'm also giving you guys just something just to get your brains working. So if you want to leave something in the comment like, oh, I thought this way, I thought this way. This is what those moments are like that are for. When I ask you, what do you guys think? I'm just asking y'all to respond in the comments. Do your thing. But as we kind of change gears from solely what I got going on, what I've been going through, what kind of dive into what's been going on this weekend? A lot of sports talk. Now I've talked about that before, like not focusing on solely one thing. But if I go a little crazy on the sports, man, forgive me and just say tapped in. You know what I mean? We're gonna get to some stuff that y'all wanna hear about. But for people that don't really care about the sports stuff, bear with me. I'm gonna do my thing, like I said. But very interesting story this week. In college football, there's a couple things we're gonna talk about in college football. First, I want to speak about this female, Haley Van Voorhis. Almost kind of like this, like Voorhees, like Voorhis, like maybe it's a close cousin, whatever the case may be. But Haley Van Voorhis, first woman on the college football team as a non-kicker. Now, usually we've heard, well, maybe if you guys don't watch sports, but there's definitely been women in sports for when it comes to football. But usually with them, it's like usually like they're the kicker or the punter, like a spot that doesn't have like that much guaranteed contact. You know what I mean? So for her to be the first one who's as a non-kicking position, like that's actually pretty dope. They had her out there playing safety, so she played safety. She's actually been on the team for 3 years now, but she's now making the headlines because she finally got some PT, some playing time, some get back on the field. So her team was up 26-0 in the first quarter. So coach figured, hey, had to go out there, break a leg, go show us something, you know what I mean? Now I watched this play, and it was almost like everybody was in cahoots on what was going on, you know what I mean? Because safety lines up outside the tackle box, nobody blocks her, so she gets a clean shot on the quarterback. Like as soon as she snaps the ball, just takes off towards quarterback. Boom, quarterback gets rid of it. 5 seconds later, here she comes, tackling him, boom, and just slammed him into the ground. It's like, okay, well, fucking late hit, first of all. She ain't got that much playing time, so she got excited. She got a free shot on the quarterback, and she just tried to take that shit. And yeah, that was the only play that she actually played. Definitely, what do you want to call it, PR stunt or whatever the case may be. My thing is like if she's actually good and she should be playing, like let her actually play. You know what I mean? But don't just put her in, for one play and whatever the case. Because I can see like she made the tackle, whatever the case may be. Like she didn't even make the tackle. I mean, I guess you got a QB hurry, but then she hit the quarterback late. The ref didn't even throw a flag. They're like, man, it's fuck this. Let her do her thing and whatever. But she clearly hit this dude late. But I don't know. If we gonna take it more serious, like one point sports and stuff like that, we gotta stop doing like weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like she's been on the team for 3 years, and this is the only time that she's gotten one snap, like one official play on the field. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about like an actual game on a Saturday where she actually got some playing time. And this is what happens. Like I get it, but at the same time I don't get it. Like don't fucking baby her because she's been on the team for 3 years. I'm sure she's actually trying to compete. You know what I mean? To the best of her ability or whatever she can do. Is like. That's almost just disrespectful to even have her, just let her play that one play, you know what I mean? She's been there for 3 years, like hundreds of plays she's could have got in on, and now you give her this one play, and then the fact that they cut it up and made like a little highlight. She didn't even make the tackle. If you give her fucking more than one play, like she can at least get like an assisted tackle or something, but I don't know. That was crazy. But shout out to Haley. If this is actually something you want to do, fucking go for it, but also don't let them fucking play with you. Like how they do like the Make-A-Wish kids. Like, okay, here, boom, get the ball, don't nobody tackle, let them score, run a touchdown. Everybody knows what's going on in that scenario. Everybody's kind of on the same page. Unless I one highlight with they had the Make-A-Wish kid on the football field. He ran like 80-yard dude game. Lit his ass up. Almost everybody got the message, but at least with something like that, it's like a collective thing. Everybody's in on this, or we can, for whatever way you want this clip to look like, it'll look like that. But when you have something like that, it's like it really is pointless. You know what I mean? Just for the simple fact that like, I'm not gonna spend too much time with it. But shout out to her. I mean, she's putting the work in. Let her do her thing and fucking, let her get off and do what she do. But I was going to talk about this last week, but this is actually a perfect timing, considering that they lost, But Colorado, she's got waxed by Oregon. Travis Hunter is out, so he didn't play. He's going to be out for at least another 2 weeks, and they got USC next week, so kind of a rough time for him to be out. But I think Travis Hunter definitely is a difference maker. I don't know how much of a difference he would have made in that game, but I mean, if you have your best player, who's not on the field, like, obviously is going to be affected. But like I said, I'm glad I was talking about this week after they lost because I think there's still a bunch of people that are still rooting for Colorado and the Buffs, But I just don't. Actually, I do understand all the hate he gets, but I just can't wrap my head around. You know what I mean? He goes to Jackson State, HBCU school. Excuse me. He gets a lot of eyes on him. He's there for his 2 years, and then he goes to Colorado. There's people in Jackson that probably felt so way, but I mean, if you had a coach like Coach Prime, you know what I mean, you obviously, want him to stay. That's like Belichick leaving the Patriots. Like, obviously, the Patriots going to be salty if he leaves, you know what I mean, just because of how impactful he is. But, like, doing this in Colorado is like they beat the number 17 team at the time, TSU. They beat a rival. Then the following week, even after, the dirty hit or whatever the case would be on Travis. And then against Oregon, they get, smacked. Putting a lot of pressure on, first of all, this is Deion's first year with Colorado, but I think a lot of it is simply coming from not so much them hating Colorado, but like all the hate is on, Coach Prime. Like sometimes I do feel like Prime is like the most hated coach in college football. Only because I mean, he's got that sauce when he comes to play. His players got the swagger too. He's sauce really doing it up and all this good stuff. And it's like people don't like to see that. You know what I mean? But it also is a thing with just Deion because that's how Deion was when he played in the league. Now I was mad young by the time I actually could see Deion at the time. Like I think the only time I actually saw Deion playing like a real game was like probably like when he was playing for like the Ravens or some shit like that, like early 2000s, some shit like that. You know what I mean? So like I didn't really get to watch prime Deion, but like obviously watch highlights and see how electric he was. You hear about all the famous quotes that he's done, like him being arrogant or whatever the case may be. I just feel like he has that same mentality now that he's a coach, and maybe people who watched Deion as a player who didn't like him, now that he's a coach, they definitely don't like him. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't see what's wrong with Deion wanting the best for his players. You know what I mean? It's like they got like the hoopla or whatever the case may be. But I mean, clearly they're fucking working hard. You know, a lot of people left the transfer portal because Coach Prime was coming, and a lot of people try to come to Colorado because Coach Prime was coming. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like. I don't know. I just don't like to hate that Deion gets sometimes because like he's honestly just trying to do his best. He's getting eyes on all these kids. There's gonna be a lot of kids who are gonna get maybe some NFL pro days and stuff like that just because they're playing for Coach Prime and people are still hating on him for what? You know what I mean? Like all this shit is for Deion or not for Deion. All this shit is for the kids that Deion is coaching. You know what I mean? Deion already has it all. Like Deion can beat Deion doing whatever the fuck he wants. And he chose to do it at, Colorado, So as far as why Deion is getting hated, it's like, okay, but, maybe some of your favorite players that got the money that could be coaches, they're not doing it, you know what I mean? And, just by them doing that, you could bring a lot of eyes. Like, if Tom Brady was a coach for a fucking college football team, you know how much eyes that would bring to a program, you know what I mean? Tom Brady might get a lot of hate too, but I don't think he'll get as much hate as maybe... Well, I don't know. That's a tough comparison because Tom Brady won a lot, so motherfuckers really don't like Tom Brady. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see all the hate that Deion gets. I mean, I think it's for obvious reasons, just because of how Deion was, But it's like Colorado's not even a powerhouse yet for people to be wanting Colorado to lose so bad already. So that's the only thing that has kind of been throwing me off a little bit because y'all act like Colorado is like one of these Alabama teams just been coming through and smacking people in the mouth all these years. Like, I think last year they won 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, I mean, in the first 2 weeks they already done that and then more, the problem effect. You could act like it's going on or act like it's not going on, but, say what you want. I think Deion is doing a great job. And, after that loss, just going to bounce back. Hopefully, people who wanted to see Deion do well aren't gonna flip teams now just because he lost that game. It is a rebuilding season, so I mean, I think if you fuck with the Bucks and if you believe in the vision that Coach Prime has, it's all gonna pay off. Now, I wish I had a coach like fucking Prime. I had black coaches when I was growing up, but the only black coach I ever had, it was my basketball coach, and that was like this dude Dan that I grew up with. Like when we went to street school together, we always played basketball together. From like first grade on, like me and Daniel always played together. So that was the only black coach I ever had. But like I don't know, it's the difference when you have like a coach that you really fuck with. You know what I mean? And like I said, I never had no black coach. Like I don't know. I just know like a lot of those players at Colorado just fucking with him just because of that, and it's Deion, but then it's a black coach on top of that, But that's not everything, but it definitely plays a certain part. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. That's just how it is. We gonna get into some more football. I guess we will. We'll talk about the Browns game. Just some takeaways. The defense looked great. I see a little crossover at the line, rushing, but they had a shit ton of sacks. Tannehill's not the best quarterback in the world, but it wasn't even so much about Tannehill being the best quarterback in the world. Like, he really had no time to do anything. You know what I mean? They couldn't even run a motherfucking screenplay because we was getting there so damn fast. But shout out to that defense looking great. I mean, the D-line looked great. The linebackers looked great. Our secondary looked great. Denzel, fucking stud, bro. I love Denzel. I know it's kind of been bitten by the injury bug a little bit, but when Denzel is on the field, he is 100% a difference maker. You know what I mean? And we've been seeing that consistency from him from the start of this year. But love to see it from the Warren. When you see him, well, you know what's going on. he was doing that a lot yesterday too. So he made a lot of great plays, made some good solid tackles, and that's the thing I like about Denzel, I mean, he's a great tackler, a great defender. A smart, high IQ player. Everything that we need in you know, our secondary. Watson was showing signs of, or showing flashes of greatness. And that's the thing about Deshaun. I think he's still, it's weird to say he's still trying to work into it, but like, I don't know. He makes like really good plays, and then he makes like some confusing plays. But I think this week he kind of cleared a lot of that shit up from the following week. He did have like a mysterious play where he was getting sacked, and then he decided to throw it to our running back who was at like 8 yards behind him. But other than that, he looked pretty good out there. I mean, fucking Amari Cooper continues to be great. We got robbed of that touchdown. I can't believe they called him out on that. He was about to get freaked too on the quarterback. He already had him looking which way he was going, but I mean, it was probably like this much space between out of bounds and his foot, and they called him out of bounds. Like, shit was so weird, but I mean, I don't know. He ended up getting a touchdown. They make up for it. I got him on my fantasy team, so that's definitely great. And then on my own team, so all goody this way. But yeah, I don't know. 2-1. Keep them pushing. Our defense has been playing great. Our offense played better, but I feel like the way that it should be playing. Once we get them at that point, and our defense keep playing the way they've been playing, I mean, we're gonna be. Yeah, laying the smackdown on some teams, but for now, it's still early in the season. We're just trying to get it, just trying to get all the pieces rolling. I think it'll be coming around sooner than later. But that'll wrap up the Browns talk. But before the Browns game, because there's a segment I do want to introduce. But we will be back right after this commercial. Hello. Okay, back again from commercial. Yeah, what did I want? Oh, this is good because I was getting a lot of feedback from people that was actually watching the episode last week. Kind of too much to include in all the topics, but this is something I want to start introducing as well. Sometimes people when they watch a podcast, they have certain questions about, whatever the case may be, no matter what I'm doing, what I can improve, or just some topics that they want to talk about. So this will be the first week that we are including some. How do I say it? Some input from, the supporters, the viewers, the watchers, for you guys. So this will be the first week. So if you see this next week, I don't know if this is something that I want to do. Not something I'm gonna. I might do it every week. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not gonna have just a segment where fucking a half hour I'm just talking about, topics you guys want me to talk about. We get a couple here and there. We'll address it. But other than that, I don't want it to be like I said, like a half hour thing. So, for the first week, this question. I'm supportive. Watcher, appreciate you. They ask, why do I think guys like Josh Cripps, Joe Hayden, Joe Thomas stay around instead of moving back to where they're from? Well, that is a great question. The first thing I have to say about that, I think, I noticed that all these names got J's in them, from the Josh and both the Joes. That might be might have something to do with it. But on a serious note, maybe, see, when you get, I feel like any professional, you go, you high school, you're somewhere until you're going to college to the next level, until you're going somewhere to the NFL. I think the NFL is where like most of these professionals actually have a chance like to settle down. You know what I mean? I think that starts where you get drafted to. You know what I mean? Just think about you always having a dream of playing in the NFL. You go through all these steps and you finally get there, and then you get drafted by a team. Like I feel like a lot of guys are like feel like they're indebted to that team. I think now more is a little bit different, but when you're talking about when the guys like Joe Thomas, Josh Cripps, Joe Hayden like that, when they got drafted, I think that was kind of the, I feel like that was kind of just the vibe of the whole league, you know what I mean? Whatever team you get drafted to, that's the team you're going to rock with. And I feel like a lot of those guys, since they got drafted to Cleveland, like, probably didn't know too much about Cleveland before they got drafted there, heard a bunch of bad things, and then they got here, it's like, no, we really fuck with Cleveland, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's more the city that they fuck with or if it's more or a combination of the people that they fuck. You know what I mean? Because anybody, I mean, we from Cleveland, so we kind of know what the vibe is. You know what I mean? For people who have never lived in Cleveland, you know, they might not, you know, completely get it. It's just like this family mentality, like, yo, we got your back, you know, you got my back type deal. And I feel like a lot of those guys, they get Cleveland, they start to feel that love, you know. So, um, I think that has a lot to do with that. I can't speak for other teams, which I'm glad you asked about the Browns because I can know a little better about the Browns than I do about any other sports team just because I'm actually in the city, you know what I mean? But I think that's what it is, you know. And you know, you asked me the question. You're from Cleveland as well, so you get it, you know what I mean? Like it's a vibe in Cleveland, and I think that's what it comes down to. Honestly, it's just like people not having an idea of what Cleveland's like, and they come to Cleveland and be like, I fuck with Cleveland, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that's the main thing that kept like goes around. But man, that was a man, those like for me when I think about like crucial like Browns player, like those are the guys like I'm thinking about. And then obviously Phil Dawson, you know what I mean? So if you don't remember, like even like when Josh Gibbs had his nice little run, it was a point in time where like we were mainly only scoring on special teams. If Josh Gibbs didn't take a punt return for a touchdown or a kick out return for a touchdown, Phil Dawson was gonna, you know, kick it through the uprights and get us some points, you know what I mean? But I mean that was a fucking electric time, you know what I mean? Because of the crazy, like the fact that you know our special teams was the reason that the Browns were putting up points is you know crazy. But then also I think probably why we lost a lot of games as well. But hey, we make it work. Shout out to Cleveland. And thank you for you know taking time out of your day to you know watch the podcast and then even have a question that you would want me to ask on this podcast. So shout out to you. Hopefully. Um, You know, hopefully I give you some insight to why those guys like to say in Cleveland. Because fucking, I mean, Cleveland is lit. You know what I mean? Like I said, like you not from Cleveland, you might not think that, but like, bro, there's people in North Dakota. It's probably like, no, North Dakota lit. If you ain't never been to North Dakota, you really don't fucking know. Now I'll be honest, I don't know about North Dakota, but that's just the point I'm trying to make. Like you'll never know until like you actually are there. You know, and just me knowing the city of Cleveland. I think that's definitely what it is. You know what I mean? We got diehard fans. Like we're going 0-16, you know, 0-17, whatever the case may be. We're still selling out because like Cleveland's like fuck, man. You Cleveland fans like man, the Browns be pissing me the fuck off, but it's like or you know fucking go Brownies. You know what I mean? It's like on Sunday during football season, motherfuckers want to watch the Browns play. You know what I mean? But damn it, this is something I didn't touch on last week either. Fucking National Burger Day. Y'all was out there eating penny burgers on National Burger Day. I know. Now they said that this is something that they used to always do back in the day. I wasn't alive back in the day. I was born in '96, so I don't never remember no National fucking Burger Day. You know what I mean? The Simpsons talked about that. You know what that means? But yeah, y'all out there eating fucking raccoon beef. Like ain't no way that man. They're talking about. But think about it. If they on National Burger Day they can sell the burgers so cheap like that. Why can't they always do it? You know what I mean? Like it ain't no reason that I should be paying like $2.10 for a McChicken. You know what I mean? Or a $2.10 for a McDouble. If you sell those bullshit beef anyway, why are you overcharging this? And other times you undercharging us, giving this to us for a deal. That's the thing. If you can give us a deal on something, that means you can always give us a deal on some shit. You know what I mean? Like, why are you making us pay overpriced for some bullshit ass food? Anyways, like back in the day, like Ray Farmer, them guys had the 10-cent burger, 10-cent cheeseburger, whatever the case may be. Like, it feels still like that. Like, I get it, but like, I don't know. I hope y'all wasn't eating them, really fucking with them penny burgers like that. My homegirl said she had one of them penny burgers from McDonald's. Her leg been tingling ever since. I'm not saying that's a direct correlation, but it is kind of odd you fucking with them penny burgers. But then I also heard that it was like a recall on a bunch of beef too. You know what I mean? Because I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but did they have a National Burger Day last year when they was giving out penny burgers, some shit like that? Like, why am I now just hearing about this? You know, someone please enlighten me. I just want to know because I don't know it all, so I'm just trying to get the answers. Because maybe I missed it. I'm just talking out of my ass right now. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's fair. That's also very possible. But I do truly want to know if there was a National Burger Day last week. Look, I got a laptop. I can literally just look shit up right now. But I don't really care that much because at the end of the day, I don't trust shit like that. If you sell me something at a certain price and a certain price is different for whatever the case may be, like, I don't trust shit like that. But I think that also comes from me being just a naturally like paranoid person. Like I don't be trusting like a lot of shit. So the fact that these burgers was a pen or whatever, like even if everybody's like, no, this shit's official, like me just thinking about it in my head, I'm already thinking like, no, like y'all not about to get me, you know what I mean? I'm just always convinced that like something or someone is always trying to fuck me over. So like I have a high alert of just being paranoid. Like, oh, that brings us to another thing. Do y'all be picking up random money? Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like, hey man, if there's some money on the floor, I'm gonna pick it up. Like, okay, I get it, but like, other day I was walking with the pooch, and saw $1 on the ground, kind of like folded up. Now it could have been a small bill and like big bill, like kind of in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm paranoid. I don't be trust shit like that. Like, what if somebody purposely put that $1 there, and you know, like I don't know, wipe their ass with that $1 and just put it on the ground, wait for somebody to pick it up, and there's somebody in the window just waiting for you to pick up that $1 so they can laugh at you. Y'all don't be thinking about shit like that. So like me, I pick up quarters. You know, I don't really pick up pennies, dimes, or nickels, but like I pick up a quarter for sure. And you think like, well, if you so paranoid, why you pick up a quarter and not pick up $1? I feel like something about the fabric of $1 makes whatever bullshit or nasty shit is on there stay on there a little bit longer. Let's say, for example, if the $1 got some feces on it, right? Put it in your pocket. The fabric of the $1 and the fabric of the inside of your jeans or your shorts is gonna mesh it together. You know what I mean? It's gonna spread a little bit longer because it can stay on the $1 because of the fabric it is, but it's not gonna just slide right off. A quarter, that's different. Even if I pick up a quarter and it's kind of dirty, I can just dip it in a little bit of water and I can just wipe it clean off. You can't dip no fucking $1 in no water. Think about that. You did all that to try to clean $1 by dipping in water and kind of clean that shit off. I'm just not gonna take it. And I don't know, I just be feeling that shit's kind of like bait card, you know what I mean? It's like, man, ain't no way somebody just fuck, like, especially if it's like a $20 bill just right there. And every time you find the money, it don't ever look like it just was lost, you know what I mean? It always look like it got like a little bit of rocks, like stepped in between it type shit. It's a little bit ripped. It's all funky, about a funky ass $1 on me. I'll show you what the $1, but y'all know what I'm be talking about. It don't look like it's fresh out the bank. It look like that motherfucker been sitting there for a couple days or some shit like that. Like in the rain, dried up, rained on it, dried up. Like the $1 be so damn crisp from it being like wet and dry so many times. But I don't know, actually, I just feel like a lot of shit just like bait cards. It's like somebody waiting for you to pick up that $1. And like for me, like, okay, I'm not going. Imagine you picking up $1 and the motherfucker just, that's my $1. You really need $1 that bad? I'm be a little embarrassed, I'm gonna be honest, because like at the end of the day, I don't need $1, just the fact that boom, like the $1 is right there, you know what I mean? But I don't know, that's just what it is for me. Like, I don't know, y'all let me know how y'all feel about picking up random money. I think I talked about this before, like the older I get, the more paranoid I get. Like I feel like everything's a setup. Someone or somebody is always trying to fuck you over. So like, I don't trust shit, you know what I mean? Unless I saw you like drop the money out your pocket, then hit like put my foot on it, and then do the classic slide. That's different, cause I know exactly where that motherfucking $1 came from. If you just see a random $1, that's different. You don't know if someone like purposely placed it there, like put a rock on there so wind wouldn't blow it away. Like that's different. Watching the money fall out of somebody's pocket, and then that sounds crazy me saying that. It's like, yo, that money fall out that pocket, I'll step on it and steal from you like that. Okay, well, yeah, that's fucked up, but at the same time, at least I know you ain't do it on purpose. Don't nobody just accidentally drop some money and wait for you to pick it up and take it. That shit gonna be gone. But I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about picking up random money. But like, I feel like, you see, I only found $1 too, so that's different. Now, if I found like 500 or some shit like that, I don't even know. I still be feeling guilty about shit like that. Like I don't know what it is. Like I feel like just being accused of any type of like thievery is like kind of makes me feel weird. You know what I mean? Like I've never really been like a thief like in general. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know. I feel like that's like an awkward situation because like you only got like one or two things you do. If you get caught stealing, you can apologize online, make it seem like you know fucking that you didn't mean to do it. Or the other's like, yeah, I stole your money. So what? You know what I mean? It's like that's like the only two ways you can go about it. I'm not about to get tough with you over no fucking dollars. So it's like I'm just gonna leave that shit alone. Whatever. Picking up $500, that's a blessing. I don't care. I'm kidding. I'm looking might take that every single time. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah. Getting ready to wrap this thing up. Um, do a quick segment of things I cared briefly about, which it wasn't that much, honestly, just because like I said, I'm not gonna force it, but it's not topic to talk about. Like I'm not gonna just talk about it. Like I know some people like you might constantly be on like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and like it's constantly like a whole bunch of stories. Like I don't really do that too often. So like even the shit like I'd be seeing, like I then forgot that that was a thing. You know what I mean? But things I care briefly about. Only got two things, but Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce dating. I ain't gonna lie, I'll be watching New Heights podcast, and he really had me convinced. Like, it's like, no, like maybe she'll get back to me. You know, I send a little friendship bracelet. Like, maybe she'll get back to me. And then I'm watching the game yesterday, and that show. Well, I wasn't watching that game. I was watching NFL Red Zone. They cut to the Chiefs game, which they fucking smacked the Chicago Bears. But he had a touchdown, and Taylor Swift was going crazy in the press box. I'm like, damn, he sitting next to Mama Kelce and everything. And the other thing, man, Travis, he from Cleveland, or him and his brother, they from Cleveland. So shout out to the Cleveland boys, just doing Cleveland shit. And whenever they think we're the underdogs, we down and out, we do some shit like we pull Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? So shout out to Travis Kelce, because he was getting a lot of shit from this other girlfriend I used to date, like saying like he was a cheapskate. He never did want to buy no shit from her. So you mind that he from Cleveland, he's not a trick? Boo-hoo, baby. But yeah, shout out to Travis Kelce. I mean, I don't really care that much for Taylor Swift. I mean, she cool. Like she got some cool songs. I'm not really going out of my way. The only reason why this is even in here is because I fuck with Travis. Some Cleveland shit. And another segment from things I care briefly about. My fantasy football team. My fantasy football team is shit. I think they will continue to be shit, and I don't think I will ever talk about my fantasy football team on this podcast ever again. So a lot of you may be thankful because you probably don't care about fantasy football or football in general, but I do. So I may be lying when I say this because like if I go on like 3 win streak, I'll be talking shit like, yeah, they can't fuck me in fantasy. I've been nice. This is what I do. It's crazy because in the beginning of the season, I was talking about this year I was going to possibly win a championship. That's why they call it fantasy football. This shit's a fucking fantasy. I ain't gonna lie to you. And before we get out of here, we're gonna shake it up again. We're gonna do some called ATI. So you can actually order this online. But this is something I like to. It's something that just really turns the party up. I don't know if you guys are drinkers out there. I would assume that most of you guys are drinking because I feel like everybody in America is a bunch of fucking dirty alcoholics. I say that jokingly. Do what you want to do. I'm more of a smoker myself, so yeah. But this is a good way just to get the party started. Depending on what type of friends you got, this would be a cool game to really break out. But there's a lot of fucked up questions here, so depending on what type of friends you have, it may be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really know how to shuffle, so I just do like you guys just put these motherfuckers on the ground, just kind of run these motherfuckers all around. But here we at. I'm gonna pull my own card. Shut up! Damn dog. Okay, what we got? Okay. Would you rather get paid $1 million a year but have to work ridiculous hours, or get $1,000 a year for doing nothing? That's actually a good question, but I've never been a super materialistic type person. Like one thing, and I never wanted to be like fucking rich and I don't know whatever the case may be. I never really cared about shit like that, but this actually interesting because I don't mind working like crazy hours and shit like that. Obviously, I still want to have a life, but to work ridiculous hours but get paid $1 million sounds pretty sweet. Or B, get 1,000 or get 100,000 a year for doing nothing. I'm not really trying to just fucking be doing nothing, but like maybe like I can still get maybe it's like you get $100 a year, but like you can't do anything else to make money. I think that'd be cool because I could just focus on doing a podcast. Like 100,000 a year, I can buy some equipment for this, buy some equipment for this, and just chill and just be good and gravy, you know. But what would y'all pick? Y'all getting paid $1 million a year, but have to work big ridiculous hours, or getting paid $100,000 a year for doing nothing? That was actually a good one. That was actually I'm gonna do another one just because I was a little bit. I was actually a good one. Last week we had it was like super simple, like like your mom or like no women in the world, like no sports. Like my mama, of course I'm saying no sports. I'm gonna do another one. You have to choose 3 animals to start a zoo. What are you choosing? A tiger, a gorilla, a silverback gorilla to be exact, and then they be having alligator. No, I don't think they be having alligators at a zoo. I don't think I ever seen an alligator at a zoo. But so tiger, gorilla, and then I don't know. I think I'm gonna low-key do a giraffe. You know what I mean? Because like if you're talking about like for like you're starting a zoo like something to be like beneficial, but like bro, people want to feed the giraffes. You know what I mean? Like you can't really feed the gorillas or nothing like that. So that's kind of tough, you know. And like the giraffes are entertaining too. They be having like I don't know how y'all, but at least in Cleveland they got the little it's like a little I don't know, it's like a little rubber ball, you know, for the giraffes. Like they just be swinging their necks for that shit. And that's kind of how they get their little. That's you know like playing fetch with your dog. Like that's kind of what a giraffe do. But yeah, that's been another episode of the We Here Now podcast. Episode number 11. It's actually my favorite number. Lucky number 11. So let's just continue to do what we do. You know, stay consistent. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and just listening. You know, I appreciate you guys for liking the video, subscribing, and commenting. All that shit is free. But I hope you guys have a good week. And this has been another episode. I will see you guys next week. If I get a like, a comment, or subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. And we out of here. Yes, sir.